Get ready to guess who Camp David is named after, where Buck Owens was born, and when the Trans-Canada Highway opened. If you can guess, you'll win on Guess What? And now, here he is, the star of our show, Robin Ward.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Thank you so much. Peace. Thank you for that wonderful welcome. Welcome to Guess What? It's good to see you. We got a great game today. We've got new champions. We've got a major cheering section for these champions out in our audience. And everybody's standing by, ready to do battle. And I think Nick should introduce the teams without delay. What about it?
All right, Robin, a pleasure. Our champions, a family that are going to try to win their second game. Meet the Barbers.
Brian, welcome
Hi, Robin.
back.
Glad to be back. Not too bad.
Good to see you.
As I was saying, I'm a transit driver in Toronto here, and
And you're a Michael Knight semi-lookalike. Who school children they think you look like Michael Knight because you got exactly the same car. And there's a certain similarity, too.
yeah.
Great. So
And
do they mob you and ask for autographs and things?
every day I just say, hi, kids.
Right.
They go for walks every day.
You just press the button and get that smoke screen going and call security.
Yeah,
Is that it?
that's right, yeah.
Good to have you on Guess What? I will refer to you today as Brian number one. There was some confusion
Sure.
on our last
Sure,
game.
that's
So
fine,
you'll
yeah.
be, if you don't
Yeah.
mind, you'll be Brian number
Sure,
one
okay.
today.
This is my father, Doug.
Hi, Doug. Nice to have you back. How
Nice
are
to meet you, Rob. I'm going to try hard again.
Great. All the very
Trying
best
with my
today.
second game.
Great. And I go down the line now to Brian number two. Hi, Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian Downey, your cousin. And yes, we're looking forward to it. We've dragged Ruby out again today.
Great. Well, I wish you the very best of luck. And right now, I think we should meet the challengers. Nick, please.
All right, Robin, here's a family that would rather sleep in the car than disturb someone's repose. Meet the DeSons.
Son, how you doing?
How are you,
Nice to see you. Good.
My name is Sparky. I'm an electrician. I'm
Right.
charged with battery, and I'm out on bail, and I hope when I go to court I don't get put in a wet cell. Seriously,
I'm ready.
my name is John Son.
Every once in a while, John, I have one of those days with a certain kind of content, and this is my punishment. It's good to have you on the show. Do you do light sort of comedy on weekends and that sort of thing? You're a very funny man. Remember, on this show, John, I do the funny stuff, though. Right?
That's not what I hear.
John says
No,
that's not
sorry.
what I hear.
No, sorry. I don't mean that you're not funny on the show.
The battle of the network Catskill comedians. I can see it right now. Good to have you on Guess What, I think. We'll get back to you in a little while. This is Josh. How are you, sir?
how do you
Nice
do?
to see you. Is this your father?
Yes, he is.
Josh is less than wildly enthusiastic. You're the man who slept in the car, I understand. You forgot your key and you slept in
Yeah,
the
I was
car?
obliged to sleep in the car, so I slept in it. And the following day, I went to a hotel, and someone had stolen my car.
And you told your wife... That's hilarious, Josh. You told your wife you slept in the car, did you?
Oh, I'm not married. You must tell
I
your
see.
stories wrong.
Okay. Could have been an accountant, Nick. I could have been an actuary, maybe, or sold socks. Good to have you on the show. I wish you the best of luck. And this is August. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Good.
Just like the month.
Great.
Okay, I'm a student, soccer player, and an amateur boxer.
Great. Well, it should be an interesting game today with you people.
Robin,
Yeah?
that story that you had for my son Josh, that was supposed to have been mine.
I see. You
But
slept
I'm
in
going
the
to do
car.
you a favor. I'm not going to tell you that story.
Okay. Feel free, gentlemen, to step
Because
up
you
to
want
your
to keep
mics.
this a good, clean family entertainment.
We're doing our very best against enormous odds, I might say. But I wish you the very best of luck on our show today. Are you ready to play?
Ready to go.
All right. Gee whiz. Let's look at our board and rock and roll. Okay. Gentlemen, if you feel like stepping up so that we hear you over the mics, we'd appreciate it. A little closer to the thing, then we might pick up some of your bon mots, as they say. Our first question is worth 60 points. Here it is. Now, the Hall of Fame for Great Americans was founded in New York City in the year 1900 by the University of New York. Which one of the following people missed the boat and was never elected to the Hall of Fame for Great Americans? Thomas Edison, Grover Cleveland, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, Wilbur Wright, or Danny Bonaduce? Which of these people never made the Hall of Fame for Great Americans, which was established back in 1900? And for 60 points, we start with our champs, and Brian number one.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain, in fact, was there. He was inducted in 1920. Down to 50 points, over to John.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe was inducted in the year 1910, so that is incorrect. We're down now to 40 points, and we're over to Douglas.
Wilbur Wright.
Wilbur Wright was put in 1955, down to 30 points, over to Josh.
I'll say Grover Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland was put in 1935, down to 20 points. Last chance to make a point. Brian, it's up to you, number two.
Danny Bonaduce.
Danny Bonaduce is correct for 20 points. Yeah, despite Danny Bonaduce's heartwarming, tear-jerking, apoplectic performance as Danny Partridge on the TV show The Partridge Family, he never really got the recognition he deserved and was not inducted into the Hall of Fame for Great Americans. But Danny, if we get enough of a kind of a groundswell support for you, who knows? It may happen yet. Good answer on that, some points salvaged. Straight to the second question. Again, it's worth 60 points. Which one of the following Canadian novelists wrote Strange Fugitive in 1928, The Loved and the Lost in 1951, and The Many-Colored Coat in 1960? He also wrote A Fine and Private Place in 75 and That Summer in Paris in 1963. Who was this particular novelist? Was it Margaret Atwood, Pierre Burton, Robertson Davies, Emily Carr, Leonard Cohen, or Morley Callahan? And for 60 points, we start with August.
Morley Callahan.
That is correct for 60 points. Good for you. Good answer on that. Nice going. Josh is congratulating August now, and we come now to a team effort question. Raise those flaps, if you would, gentlemen, please. It's also a visual question. We'd like you to take a look at the monitor here. Now, you're looking at a photo of Lockheed's SR-71, a reconnaissance aircraft capable of traveling at a speed of Mach 3, or 3 times the speed of sound. To the nearest hour, how long would it take the SR-71 to fly from New York to London, England? And is that A, 1 hour, B, 4 hours, C, 3 hours, or D, 2 hours? You have 5 seconds to think about that. Time is up. Brian, what do you think? Brian number 1.
I said D, 2 hours.
You think 2 hours? And Douglas, what do you think?
D, 2 hours.
And Brian number 2.
C, 3 hours.
Okay, let's see how John voted.
D, 2 hours.
And Josh? And
D.
August?
A, 1 hour.
All right, let's find out right now how long it would take to fly the SR-71 from New York to London. The answer is D, 2 hours, in fact. Yeah, to be exact, it takes 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 56 seconds. So 2 correct answers on our champ side. Brian and Douglas put 50 points on the board. And gentlemen, could you hold your wee cards up again, because I don't remember how you voted. There you go. Yeah, we had 2 correct answers on the Sun side. They put 50 points on the board as well. At the end of our first round, our champions, the Barbers, have 70 points. Our challengers, the Suns, are ahead with 110 points. And round 2 is coming up after these important words. Stay with us. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies. And if you at home, no, what I'm going to say right now is if any of our teams win 7 games, they win our grand prize. And here's Nick to tell you what that prize is today.
It's a trip to Greece from Olympic Airways and Apirotiki Cruises. 3 will fly out of Toronto to cruise to the beautiful islands of Greece. Compliments of Olympic Airways and Apirotiki Cruises. A trip worth $10,000.
Thank you very much. Okay, a quick recap of our scores. Our champions, the Barbers, have 70 points. Our challengers have 110 points. Fairly close game as we come into this, the second round. First question of which is worth, once again, 60 points. Here it is. Now, Camp David is the official retreat of the presidents of the United States. President Franklin D. Roosevelt established the camp in 1942, but he did not call it Camp David at that time. What was the original name of this presidential retreat? Was it Shangri-La, San Simeon, Bonanza, San Gabriel, Bonsai, or Bonavista? The original name of Camp David. And for 60 points, we start with Brian.
San Gabriel.
That is incorrect. Down to 50 points, and over to John.
Shangri-La.
That is correct for 50 points. Yeah, in 1953, President Dwight D. Eisenhower renamed the camp after his grandson, David Eisenhower, so to be known as Camp David from now on. Good answer on that, John. Increasing your lead. Let's go to another question worth, again, 60 points. The Trans-Canada Highway was Canada's first transcontinental roadway. In what year did the Trans-Canada Highway open? In 1933, 1919, 1954, 62, 1947, or 1959? And for 60 points, we start with Douglas.
1947.
That is incorrect, Douglas. We're down to 50 points and over to Josh.
1954.
That is also incorrect, Josh. Down to 40 and over to Brian, number 2.
1933.
Nope, down to 30 points now. We're over to August.
1962.
That is correct for 30 points. Good stuff. Okay, let's go now to an audio question. This is worth 60 points. We'd like you to listen carefully to this piece of music. Now, the song you just heard was from a popular television show. It was a theme. What was that television show? Was it Peter Gunn, Dick Van Dyke, My Three Sons, The Jack Parr Show, Bewitched, or McHale's Navy? 60 points. We start with our champs and Brian. Number one.
McHale's Navy?
McHale's Navy is correct for 60 points. Okay. Good answer, a nice answer, a timely answer, in fact, because the gap was quite large, and now the gap is only 60 points. It's now time for a team effort, so flaps up, gentlemen, if you would, please. And we'd like you to take a look at the monitor here once again. Now, you're looking at a photograph of the legendary Buck Owens. Which one of the following magazines named him the top country and western singer of the year in 1967? Was he named by A, Cashbox, B, Variety, C, Billboard, or D, Tiger Beat? You have 5 seconds to think about that. Time is up. Brian, what do you think?
B, Variety?
You think Variety? Douglas?
B, Variety.
And Brian?
B, Variety.
Unanimous on the Barber side. Let's see how John voted. You think Variety? And Josh?
B.
And August?
C, Billboard.
All right, let's find out right now which the magazine in question is. The answer is C, Billboard. Yeah. Only one person on either team had it correct. That was August, who puts 20 points on the board. At the end of our second round, our champions have 130 points. Our challengers are still ahead with 210 points. And round three, the final and deciding round, coming up right after this. Stay tuned. If you would like to join us on Guess What as one of our contestants or as a member of our studio audience, we'd love to have you, and all you have to do is write to us. And here's Nick with our address.
All right, Robin, if you plan to be in Toronto and would like to be a part of Guess What in the audience or as a player, please write Guess What, Box 9, Station O, Toronto, Ontario, M4A 2M9.
And we give away some nice prizes to some members of our studio audience, and here's Nick to tell you what some of those prizes are.
Some members of our studio audience may receive prizes furnished from Added Touch Cake Mix. There's lots of moist, delicious flavors to choose from, but only one kind of quality, the best. Added Touch, your best value. And our consolation winners will receive High Energy from Conair, the all-new exciting line of fashion-colored hair dryers with quality and value. High Energy from Conair, the look of today.
Okay, gentlemen, the final round is here, and it's a pretty close game. Our champions, the Barbers, have 130 points. Our challengers are ahead with 210 points. This is the final round. The first question, again, worth 60 points. According to Greek mythology, Hebe was the goddess of youth, and it was her job to fill the cups of the other gods with nectar. Now, one day, Hebe fell while serving the gods, and not only did she not get a tip, but she was fired. Which one of the following gods dismissed Hebe? Was it Dionysus? Was it Apollo? Poseidon? Zeus? Demeter, or Atlas? And for 60 points, let's see how well you remember your Greek mythology. And we start with John.
I'll say Dionysus.
That is incorrect, John. Down to 50 points, over to Douglas.
Demeter.
Nope, down to 40 points now and over to Josh.
Let's try Atlas.
Nope, down to 30 points now and over to Brian. Number two.
Apollo.
Nope, down to 20 points. Last chance to make a point, August.
Zeus.
Zeus is correct for 20 points. If you're interested, Zeus replaced Hebe with Ganymede, who was the son of Tros. Tros was the king of Troy. Okay, straight to the next question. Again, it's worth 60 points. Here's the question. 100 points trailing now by our champions, that is, and they need to do a little catching up here. Here is the question. What is the name of the church in Boston, Massachusetts, in which Robert Newman hung the lanterns in the steeple to warn Paul Revere that the British were coming? Is that church called the Old North Church, St. Mary's Church, St. Mark's Church, Our Lady of Hope, St. John's Chapel, or Our Lady of Life? And for 60 points, we start with Brian, number one.
St. John's Chapel?
That is incorrect, Brian, and down to 50 points, over to John.
I'll say Old North.
That is correct for 50 points. Congratulations. Good stuff. Okay, good answer on that. Let's go to the next question. Again, it's worth 60 points. Here it is. In what country would you find the city of Casablanca? In Sri Lanka? In Brazil? In Colombia? In Morocco? Argentina? Or Chile? Where would you find the city of Casablanca? For 60 points, we start with Douglas.
Morocco.
Morocco's correct for 60 points. Good answer. Okay, again, 100 points now separate the two teams as we come to our last question. It's a team effort, so we'd like you to raise those flaps if you would, please. And remember, this being the last question, the point value is triple, so you could add 300 points to your score. This will obviously decide the game. At the moment, our challengers do have a 100-point lead. Here's the last question. According to a rhyme quoted by A.E. Bray, quote, Monday's child is fair of face, Tuesday's child is full of grace, Wednesday's child is full of woe, Thursday's child has far to go. What is Friday's child? A, bad and cold, B, loving, C, smart, or D, fat? And you have 5 seconds to think about it. Time is up. Brian, what is your answer?
B, loving.
You think loving. And Douglas?
B, loving.
And Brian, number 2.
Be loving.
Unanimous on this side. Let's see how John voted. And Josh?
C.
And August.
A, bad and cold.
Let's find out right now what the answer is. The answer is B, loving. Our continuing champions are the Barbers with 490 points. Congratulations. Yeah, Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works hard for its living. And a child that's born on the Sabbath day is fair and wise and good and gay, it says here. So good answer on that, gentlemen. You've retained your championship. You were trailing, but you did well in that last team effort, so you won the day. Let's find out what you've won for your efforts so far today. Nick?
It's the World Book 22-volume encyclopedia, including research guide and index volume. Easy to use, easy to read, and easy to understand. Furnished by World Book Childcraft International. And a selection of products from Gerald, including the Starcom CS volume control TV converter, stereo upgrading, and totally programmable with remote volume control. Starcom CS from Gerald.
And to our challenger, the Sun family, you were terrific competitors. You were in the lead for just about the entire game, except for that last team effort question. John, you're the funniest man we've ever had on the show, and I wish you continued success. And we'd like to thank you very much for joining us on Guess What? You've won some nice prizes. Hope you had a good time with us today. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen. And to our continuing champions with Game 2, we'll be playing for cash and a bonus prize right after these words. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. We're just talking to our continuing champions with Game 2. I was just asking Brian if he's... You graduated about 8 or 9 months ago, I understand.
Right.
And what did you do for those 8 months, you usually said?
I was an employment research specialist.
You know what that means? Employment research specialist, Nick. That means unemployed. It's interesting. You check the want ads every day?
Every day, send out my resumes, and that's about
That's an
it.
interesting way to put it.
Yes.
Employment research
It
specialist.
sounds a little better than sitting at home doing nothing.
That's right. So what is your field of specialty exactly?
I started this week. I'm a claims adjuster.
I see.
I analyze all the damaged cars that come into us and see how much of the...
It's fortunate, I mean, after 8 months of looking that you...
Yes,
Strange,
That's right.
strange kind of employment research specialist. With an attitude like that, you'll go far, I have no doubt. And anyway, gentlemen, congratulations on victory number 2. And it was a close call today, as you know, because we up against a hot challengers today. And it was only that final team effort that won it for you. You're obviously familiar with that nursery rhyme. Somewhat familiar.
Well,
anyway.
somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat familiar. Well, congratulations once again. And right now, we're going to play for our bonus prize. And Nick's going to tell us what that prize is right now.
Today's bonus prize is the Spacemaker microwave oven from General Electric. By pre-programming, you'll be able to cook and defrost your food evenly and quickly. The Spacemaker microwave oven from General Electric.
Hey, thank you. Okay, here we go with our, I don't remember, how did you do in the last bonus round, our last game? Remind me.
We missed the first
You missed it.
Missed the first one, yeah.
Okay. Maybe you have better luck on this one today. Our first bonus question, as you know, is worth $50 and the right to go on to that big bonus prize if you're successful. In this first one, we put 4 answers on the board, and you get 1 guess each. And here is the first bonus question. Which one of the following people wrote the controversial novel, quote, Adventures in Good Eating in 1936? Adventures in Good Eating. Was that Clarence Birdseye, Will Kellogg, Duncan Hines, or Dolly Madison? Who wrote Adventures in Good Eating back in 1936? And $50, we start with Brian.
I'll try C, Birdseye.
That is incorrect. Over to Douglas.
I'll try Dolly Madison.
She did not either. And Brian, it's number 2. It's all up to you.
I'll guess Duncan Hines.
That is correct for $50. Yeah, Duncan Hines was an American businessman and author who became an expert on eating and lodging establishments. And, of course, he spent many years just dining out and writing about his experiences in books, which to me is the ideal job. He lived from 1880 to 1959. Good answer on that. Let's go straight to the second bonus question. This again is worth $50, and this time we make it a little harder on you. We put 5 answers on the board. Here is the question. Now, the orangutan is a large, rare ape that lives in Sumatra and Borneo. The name orangutan comes from the Malay language. What does orangutan actually mean? Does it mean jungle devil, man of the woods, abominable ape, hairy monster, or birdman? What does orangutan actually mean? And for $50, we start with Douglas.
Man of the woods.
That is correct, $50. Yeah, orangutans are wonderful, peaceful animals that live in groups of 2 to 5, very social animals, and their only real enemy is man, and encroaching on their territory, and basically that's causing them to be, I believe, endangered, if I'm not mistaken, or close to endangered, as many other animals are. So good answer on that. Let's go now to the final plateau in our bonus round. This is for the bonus prize itself. You've completed $100 in our bonus round, and here's the final one. Now, although some people in this country might think that the government's talk is cheap, it isn't. Everything that is said in the House of Commons is transcribed and printed, as we all know. How much did it cost to do this in 1985, to transcribe this? Did it cost $1,973,000, $4,569,000, $7,434,000, $2,256,000, $5,781,000, or $6,672,000 to transcribe all the words that were said in the House of Commons in 1985. And for the bonus prize, we start with Brian, number 2.
I'll say $5,781,000.
That is incorrect, Brian. Over to Brian, number 1.
4,569.
Nope. And Douglas, it's all up to you.
7,434,000.
No, in fact, it cost $6,672,000, which is a lot of money for a lot of hot air, I might add. So you didn't win our bonus prize today, but you won $100 in our bonus round. You're getting closer every time out. This is game number 2 you've won, and you had a terrific day again today.
Sure.
So you're going to get to come back another day and try for another bonus prize, and maybe even try for a grand prize. So I congratulate you. Thank you to our studio audience for being with us today. You've been great. To you at home, see you next time, God willing, on Guess What? Bye-bye. Whoopee.
Promotional consideration from Elja Marine, products that are made from a mixture of organic extracts to cleanse and moisturize skin while leaving a fresh scent in all products. All from Elja Marine. And Mighty Drop. Now you can eliminate unpleasant odors in seconds. Mighty Drop, the quick, easy way to deodorize and freshen your home in drop or concentrated spray. Mighty Drop. And Happy Nails. Non-smear Happy Nails instantly removes nail polish while it conditions nails and cuticles with protein, lanolin, and glycerin. Happy Nails. This is Nick Hollenrake speaking for Guess What? A Glen Warren production.